So today I'm going to talk about my journey to finding Isha and how I got into yoga and how health became such an important part of my life and pretty much like what's brought me to where I am today. So I'm just going to share that with you. So my journey starts off. We'll start off about 2.5 years ago, maybe. Um, so 2.5 years ago, I was at part of my life. Wasn't very happy. I was lacking the joy I used to have. I was suffering from anxiety that just kind of interfered with a lot of parts of my life, and I just realized that I wasn't improving myself. I was just going deeper, like into anxiety. Like I guess you could say maybe I had depression a little bit because I felt like there was just like this cloud over me some days that just kind of like just made my thoughts all foggy, and like I just couldn't think straight, and I just didn't feel like I was like experiencing what I should have been experiencing. So at that time, this was like junior year in college, and I was living with one of my high school buddies who he was very into marijuana, and I ended up smoking a lot of marijuana too that year. And I found that when I smoked marijuana, like for those 2 hours that I was high, I felt good. I felt like there was a space between how I used to felt and how I feel now, and I felt good. But that feeling obviously never lasts. I mean, you go to bed, you wake up the next day, you're back to square one. So it wasn't until about February of my junior year that I went to class, philosophy class, and I went on a little bit of marijuana, and I was just listening to the teacher, and he was talking about Descartes and how Descartes kind of realized that there's a lot of crap inside of its head that he believes is true, but there's no way of knowing that it's actually true. So he's just believing things that may be right, may be wrong, but he was believing them. And he says, we're all doing that. Like, we're all kind of believing some things, not believing other things, but we don't really know. Like, you're going on believing, or disbelieving, and you're just filling your head with all this crap that you're not really sure of if you really look at it. And so what he did was he just got rid of everything. He just said, you know what, like, I'm just gonna like disbelieve everything. Like, if I see a truck, like, I'm not gonna believe that there's a truck there because there might not be. Like, there's always more room for doubt. So he did this, and when the teacher was talking about this, it really hit me at that moment. I became aware that my head was pretty much full of just a lot of nonsense, and I guess all that nonsense was kind of what was creating that fog within me. So what I did was I kind of did what Descartes did, and when I just realized that I'm just gonna like not believe anything. Like, I'm just gonna like disbelieve everything and just clean the slate. So when I did that, I for like 2 weeks I was just in this like very peaceful state where like everything seemed very vibrant. I could hear things so much more clear, and I could think so much more clear. And everything just kind of popped out at me. And like I liked it. I was just so happy, and I was so peaceful, and everything was great. But because I was still smoking marijuana, after like 2 weeks this kind of state didn't last, and then I kind of went back to slowly came back to that anxiety state that I wanted to get away from. So it wasn't until August of that year that I came across one of Sadhguru's videos on YouTube, and I think it was a video about like anxiety and depression. And I just watched this video. I don't even know why. I just decided to click it, and everything he said just spoke to me so clearly. I can't remember exactly what he said, but I know at the time it was just like, wow, like he knows exactly what I'm going through, and like he's just making so much sense about it. So I started watching more and more and more of his videos, and like everything he said just spoke to me. Even if it was videos that I really didn't, have like an interest in watching, I still watched it. I was like, wow, like this is like there's something to this. So I eventually took his inner engineering course online, which is 7 videos. So it took me about like an hour and a half each night for 7 nights, and just every single session just kind of like just shook me to the core. Every topic he talked about just completely like changed how I experienced life and how I saw life and how like everything is supposed to be. I don't know. It's something you really have to experience on your own. So after I took the whole course, I just felt like, wow, like there's something to this Isha and Sadhguru. Like this isn't just another thing. Like this is something that everybody should look into, because it just works on the fundamentals of life. And I think that's where everyone goes wrong, is the fundamentals of how we experience life and how we, live life is just, it's wrong. I guess not wrong, but we're just not taking care of the basics. And like once you take care of those basics, then everything else just built on top of it. And you have like you're always sturdy and you're always clear. And you can do whatever you want in life after that, because you're not getting stuck. Like you're going through like fluidly, and everything's just working. So I took the Shambhavi, which is it's a yogic practice that you do. It just takes 21 minutes, and you do that every day, and it just takes you deeper and deeper inside yourself. And then I took some more yoga practices later on. I took Suya Kriya, which is like it's more of a physical body posture yoga, I guess you want to call it. And then I took the Shakti Chalani Kriya with the Shunya meditation. I've been doing that for about 21 days now, and I can just tell you, it's every time you do it, you feel so different and so it's hard to describe. Just doing it just changes you so much, and like your thoughts just don't interfere with your life anymore, and you have just so much more control over how you want to feel and how you want to be. So Isha and Sadhguru have really just changed everything about me, and everything for the better, because I feel like I was just going in the wrong direction for most of my life. And then once I saw that first video with Sadhguru, I felt like it put me on the right tracks, and since then I've just been going. So if you have anxiety, if you have any issues, if you feel like you're lacking happiness, if you even know what that feels like. I mean, it's hard to know you're missing happiness when you're feeling like that, because I mean, you have nothing to compare it to. So it's just what you are now. So if you just feel like there's more to life than what you're experiencing, please check out Isha and Sadhguru and take the inner engineering. Either take it online, or if it's in a local city, or even just fly somewhere and take it. I highly recommend you do it, because it will only enhance you tenfold. Like, it'll completely change how you see life, but for the better. Like, it's not gonna change you and like just, I don't know. I can't really explain it. Just go take it, experience it, and then if you've already taken it, like let me know what your experiences were, and like if your life is better. Like, I'd love to know. So if you watched this whole video, thank you. If you want to comment, you can do it. If you want to like, do that. If you want to subscribe, hey, do that too. So thanks for watching. Have a great day.